my name is Nancy, and today I will be talking about the women's rights and suffrage in the 20s. So I'm going to start off talking about women's suffrage. Women were denied some of the basic rights enjoyed by male citizens. They had a restriction on voting. They couldn't own property or control an income. Women had to stay home to cook, clean, and take care of their kids only. Some of the women's rights, they won the right to vote in many different places. They had the right to do anything that men could do. They had the right to live from violence, live free from slavery, and from discrimination. They won the right to own property and to earn fair and equal wage. So the first Women's Rights Convention in 1848, Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott organized the first Women's Rights Convention. They decided to hold a gathering that would catch attention to the social, civil, and religious rights of women. It became known as the Seneca Falls Convention, taking place on July 1920, 1848. There were over 300 people that attended, such as women and some men. In 1869, there was a first victory for voting rights when Wyoming Territory granted all female residents at age 21 and older the right to vote. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about Elizabeth Cady Stanton. She was born on November 12, 1815 in Johnstown, New York. She received formal education at Johnstown Academy and at Emma Willard's Troy Female Seminary in New York. She married abolitionist lecturer Henry Stanton. She too became active in the anti-slavery movement. While on her honeymoon in London to attend World Anti-Slavery, she met Lucretia Mott. Lucretia Mott was an early feminist activist and strong advocate for ending slavery. She was born on January 3, 1793 on Nantucket Island, Massachusetts, one of the founders of the Philadelphia Female Anti-Slavery Society. She co-wrote the Declaration of Sentiments in 1848 for the Women's Rights Convention. Sojourner Truth, she was an African American abolitionist and women's rights activist. She was best known for her speech on racial inequalities. Ain't I a Woman? Truth was born into slavery but escaped with her infant daughter. She began touring with abolitionist George Thompson, speaking to large crowds on the subject slavery and human rights. Three strategies that were adopted to win votes. First, they tried to get state legislatures to grant women the right to vote. Second, they pursued court cases to test the 14th Amendment. And third, they pushed for national constitutional amendment to grant them the right to vote. So these are basically the things they had to do so that they could win the rights that they wanted. So this is just a women's suffrage timeline. Basically tells you the years of each thing that I kind of talked about in my project. So in 1840, Lucretia Mott and Elizabeth Cady Stanton are barred attending the World Anti-Slavery Convention, which promote them to hold a women's convention. In 1848, the Women's Rights Convention was made and the Declaration of Sentiments agenda was made. In 1849, first state constitution in California extends property rights to women. 1850, a strong alliance is formed with abolitionist movement. In 1851, Worcester, Massachusetts is the site of Second National Women's Rights Convention. Ain't I a Woman? And in 1878, they gave the women the right to vote and in all elections, first residents to the U.S. Congress. And in 1887, first vote on women's suffrage is taken in the Senate. And those are my sources, and that'll be it. Thank you.